Lies of P got 2 nominations for the Game Awards 2023, one for Best Roleplay, the second for Best Art Direction. The game appeared beside Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Legend of Zelda, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16 and Starfield. And this video I'm gonna give you 10 reasons why I think Lies of P actually deserves the nominations. I'm not saying that the game deserves to win, I'm saying that Lies of P actually deserves the nominations. So let's go. The first one, narrative, okay? Lies of P has done something incredible in my opinion. The game got all the goods from software regarding combat and gameplay and added a different type of narrative and storytelling. It's not abstract. All the pieces are not interpretative and depend on suppositions to work or depend on a deeper study of architecture, item description, dialogue for us to understand the game. They made an objective narrative with a very well structured and progressive story. Don't get me wrong, I love the narrative of From Software games, you know. I love how they work with the elements to make you guess, for example, how the lore works out. I don't know, how many channels have you seen on YouTube of people exploring the lore of Elden Ring without, for example, a guidance? Everything needs to be uncovered, it's magical, you know. But I also enjoy an objective narrative. I really love when you can see clearly how things are unfolding in the game. For example, Ghost of Tsushima, Uncharted 4, all those games you can clearly see what's happening. And Lies of P, the same thing. Every piece of text that you find in a game, you can understand the quest lines, even with the descriptions and the actual dialogue. It's clear what's happening. That first quest that you can get from that, you need to find a puppet baby for the lady, and then you find that music, Close Your Eyes.
Close your eyes, come to me.
And the music kind of like describes how the world is freaked up with the petrification disease after you understand it. All of that is completely linked. Even the song, so beautifully written and simple and easy to interpret, and a good experience overall, you know. And that's why I think narrative is a really good point. All the good mechanics from software, and actually a simple, objective and clear narrative. Guys, let me ask you something from the deep of my heart. I really want to do this. I really want to bring you videos. I love to do this. We have no idea how much I love it. For example, I think I have 20,000 views already with like few videos. But I have like 70, 75, 73 subscribers. Guys, please help me out. Like, subscribe to my channel, you know, activate the notification bell. It will be extremely helpful if you do that, because it's really hard, you know. I see so many views and 72 subscribers. You know, I have the power right now to make me feel a little better. Thank you so much. The second one is art direction. They chose to work with the Belle Epoque, that industrialist, steampunk, and you can even say AI. And the idea that technology, like, I don't know, went in a different path and you don't have that the control of that anymore. With the Ergo, actually, that really caught my attention. Not being obvious. For example, why some people really didn't enjoy Lies of P. I talked to many friends of mine. They said that approach of puppets, technology, they don't enjoy that as much. Some people really don't like that. They prefer the dragons, armor, sorcerer, magic, that classical fantasy RPG vibe. And Lies of P brought something new, brought something different, that I do give credit to them for that. It's not obvious, it's something that stands out, and for some people that's good, for some people that's not. But for me, I loved it at first because I'm so used to that obvious approach of medieval fantasy. I was like, oh, should I play this game? But when I started playing this game, I felt like the doors opened for me, and I saw a whole different universe that I didn't know existed, and a really good approach on a different theme, a different thematic. Overall, it's a good thing that they didn't go with the obvious. I don't know, to be disruptive, to create new things, You have to do that. It can't be obvious, and I think it was a good thing. And the level design of the entire game brings you that feeling of the unknown, but without exaggeration. I mean, the station area, mid to end game, I felt like I was playing a horror game. I wasn't expecting that. And there were many areas, for example, like with that Resident Evil 4 vibe as well. I mean, you guys know I can't play horror games. It's something that I just don't mess with. I see things moving, I don't give a fuck. I don't like it. And I felt that, and it was nice. It was a Souls-like game that I was feeling like worried. On top of that, you have the space to explore freely while fighting mobs. Some of those mobs are extremely hard. The way that the game was built gives you the space to enjoy the architecture, to enjoy the visual elements, and to enjoy the enemies. And it's something that I really enjoy as well is the enemy design. The character design is amazing. Like Pinocchio, the artistic choice of, for example, letting Pinocchio's hair grow by the time he's lying, bringing some elements of the original story as well. In the beginning of the game, you have the puppet enemies, and after a while you discover a disease, and in a part of the game you see that that disease affects humans and the puppets, and the way that the puppets behave, it's different because the petrification changes the moveset. There is a lot of enemy diversity as well regarding, for example, the areas that you are set in. The third one is launch strategy. Let me give you an example, okay? Lords of the Fallen released the game in early access to some people, some content creators, and then released the game in an unpolished, unfinished state, mainly for consoles, like too many problems, performance issues, stuttering issues. In Lies of P was completely different. They released a demo, everyone played the demo, gave their feedback. They took that feedback and fixed the game in some ways, fixed some like imminent problems, but they also did something very, very, very important. They made it clear what was the value proposition of the game and from the devs. And they didn't like leave anything in closed doors. What did they do? People were complaining a lot regarding the dodge system, and they made it clear. They talked to the community saying that some of the things that people were complaining were indeed part of the game experience. For example, you dodging and rolling in the beginning of the game not being as fluid as you wanted. Mid-game to end game, you would get some specific abilities and some specific perks that would give you the possibility of performing a precision roll, better rolls, better dodge system. And something, they didn't leave a gap for you to guess what the fuck was happening. They made it clear that the game was a unique experience. What I'm saying, some people might question the features of a game, and they might complain about some mechanics and specifically. But if that mechanic is part of the experience and it's part of something that the devs want you to feel and want you to experience and to evolve in the game, if they make that clear from the beginning, it's not an issue. And that's what Lies of P did, and it was amazing, deliciously, scrumptiously amazing. And when the game launched on day one, what happened? People loved the game. So many compliments towards the game, really good scores, really good evaluations, and that is the magic. I think Asmongold as well interviewed the game developers. The DNA embodiment of the game, which is actually number 4, believing in your game and believing that you are bringing a new experience, a different approach in the Souls-like genre, and actually listening to the community, trying to build something that is long-lasting and delivering you that by finding a balance between what is expected from the community, from the game base, what the devs want you to experience. That is the key, and I believe that Lies of P was such a success that they embodied their DNA. The number 5 is actually gaming knowledge. Guys, search right now NeoWiz and Round 8, which are the distributors and the developers. Nobody freaking cared about those developers and those distributors. And you know what? They delivered a AAA experience, so you have to give credit to that. Companies that didn't have any didn't have any important titles, any relevant titles, they were able to bring such a good experience of a Souls-like in a Souls-like genre, which is extremely difficult because the community is extremely meticulous and they demand a lot. They were able to deliver a really good experience that was enjoyable to everyone. That is beautiful. Inside the Souls-like genre is beautiful. It's actually truly amazing. And something that I feel, which is actually number 6, is the community management. They were all the time like posting updates, giving us constant updates, making us know what is ahead of us, how the game would actually behave. And actually, let's go to number 7, which is respect. You can watch every interview of the developers. They start in every interview thanking all the player base. They thank us every single interview or every single video. They give us thanks, they praise us. That shows me that they have a huge respect for the community, for us. You know, they have a huge respect for and towards us. Just the fact that they are thanking us, that is awesome. And one thing as well regarding number 6 and number 7, which is their last update, that they say what was new, the simple things that will be a DLC and a new patch. And in the new patch, as a thanks to the community, they would give us the Aliodoro, I don't know, which is the merchant that gives you the boss weapons, the mask, the dog mask. They will give us that because the community really enjoy that outfit and they were giving us that. I mean, those small things, they really make a huge difference regarding a game that you enjoy and that you love. A difference of liking and loving a game. Let's go to number 8, okay, which is performance. Guys, it was an immaculate performance. Even when the demo was released, I didn't have any problems. I heard a lot of my friends saying that on console was awesome as well. No problems. And it was an example of performance on demo on day 1. In the demo release and in the game release, unnoticeable lags, no stutters. And one thing that is extremely important to say, the right choice of the engine. Since when you need a next gen engine to deliver a long-lasting game? If you know how to deliver and you know the community, if you know how the game must be built for the genre and for the community and for the player base, you don't need a huge engine. I mean, all the From Software games, they don't have huge graphics, they have a good gaming experience. You heard that, Lords of the Fallen? Did you listen to that? I mean, how can you play a full Parry game, which is Lies of P, if you don't have a good performance? No, tell me. Extremely enjoyable, scrumptiously enjoyable. To sum up, Lies of P was in fact a finished and polished game. It wasn't released in the final state, you know, all the tests were made, the devs believed in the product, believed in the performance, they did the test what they need to do, and you know what, we fucking loved it, because when the game is in the polished state, you feel the elegance, you know, you feel, it smells like a good product, it feels nice. That is the key to success in my opinion. And they did that. Let's go to number 9. Okay, number 9. These last two numbers, they relate more to combat. If you are a fan of Soulsborne, Souls-like games, this needs to be mentioned. So the combat in Lies of P was structured, clean, and the weapon system was something fresh. You know, when you go to the supermarket and you see a freaking fish that has been sitting there for 3 days and you see a fresh fish, the weapon system is like fresh feeling. And like the blades and the handles, oh my god. For example, you have blades and you have the handles. You can play with any weapon you find by customizing the weapon with the style you feel comfortable. And all the weapons, they have like a different special attack that you feel and commit to them. Any build you make, you can play just fine. And the fact that you have special abilities of the blade and special abilities of the handle, that is awesome as well. You don't get stuck with a build. I mean, a lot of people, they love the katana, right? If you take the katana and you switch the handle to motricity, you use the motricity item to change, dude, you can go kataning everywhere. You slash people off, you know, go slash the puppet away, flay them, you know, enjoy the fact that you are using a katana with a strength build, and you don't get stuck with that. And the other one is, I had to put that in number 10 because for me, that is the base of a Souls-like game. Pairing. I don't know if that happens with you guys, but I'm gonna give you an example with another Souls-like and a Souls game. When you parry in Dark Souls, or Elden Ring specifically, you need a good timing. If you don't have a good timing, you'll get fucked. A hammer in the face, a hammer in the back, ribs, you know, you will get destroyed. And because you need to time everything so perfectly. In Sekiro as well, that predictability of understanding when the attacks are coming. I know, a parry experience in a Dark Souls, in Elden Ring, and in Sekiro, Lies of P are completely different things. In Dark Souls and Elden Ring, it's more of a predictability than intuition. You need to predict more, you need to time everything so perfectly, and you need the frames for that to happen. In Sekiro and in Lies of P, it's more intuitive, you know, because it doesn't take a long period, a long frame period for you to land a perfect parry. It's more intuitive, it's like on the go, you just click and you parry. For that to happen, it needs to be pitch perfect, and they did a beautiful job with the parry system. Impossible attacks, they are intuitive, they are predictable as well, because it's a combination of intuition and prediction, you know. But and you know something, if you have like ways of playing Lies of P, right? I play full parry, and defense, if you are not fully if you didn't fully upgrade your dodging system and your rolls, defense is a huge role in Lies of P, and the devs knew that. And the fact that they brought that defense parrying in such a perfect way that it just works, you know. And that is something so memorable for me, because I told you that in previous videos, when I play a soulslike, Soulsborne game, I play full parry. That is what I love. And I like a hybrid build with full parry. For example, strength and faith, full parry. That is the way that I like to go. If I'm fighting a boss, for example, I like to understand all the movements, all the moveset. I like to understand every place that I can parry them. That is my vibe. I like to suffer, masochist vibe. I was able to enjoy the suffering in Lies of P. I will never forget this game, and I have mad respect for the developers. It's so satisfying, so satisfying. No words for the parry system. And I'm gonna give you like, we can say an honorable mention. Let's put it as a 11. The game has an easy mode. The game has a hard mode. What is the hard mode? The way that I play, full parry, enjoying every boss, all the boss movements, all the enemies, mobs movements, and having a difficult experience, like upgrading the weapon and full parry. The easy mode, for example, in the easy mode, you have the spectrum. You can summon the spectrum, and all the bosses, they are so extremely easy. And it's accessible for all kinds of audiences. The audience that they want to have like a full immersive story vibe, that they don't want to spend too much time fighting bosses. They just summon the spectrum, they go there, they beat the shit out of the boss, and everything is beautiful, everything's fine. They feel powerful. I think it's stupid, but they feel powerful, and it's amazing. And respect for you, it's what you love to do, the way that you like playing games, and I think that is amazing for you. And you have my type of gameplay. You can even add like a third difficulty, which is like dodging. But that, as I mentioned before, you need to unlock some specific abilities with the quartz, you know, to actually have a fluid dodging experience. The difficulty in this game was regarding the Souls genre, like regarding the Soulsborne, Souls-like world. This game was the most difficult game I've ever played, topping Sekiro, because this is a Souls-like game. Sekiro is a different game. Basically, you have the Mikiri counter, the jump counter. I mean, I only upgrade the katana when I could, attack power, and I didn't use the prosthetic as much. I only used those mechanics. Even From Software mentioned that Sekiro is not a Souls-like or Soulsborne. They mentioned that it's a From Software action game with Souls elements, but it's not a full RPG experience. It has elements. And Lies of P is a combination of Sekiro and Dark Souls, you know? You have the parrying system from Sekiro, and you also have that whole arsenal of things that you can find in Dark Souls. And this is why these are all the 11, right? The 11 reasons that I think Lies of P deserved the nominations. It has an amazing art direction, it has an amazing narrative, it has an amazing universe, and indeed I feel like it is a good roleplay experience. Even though you have like limited customization, you actually can feel that you are customizing the way you play, you are customizing the way you are changing the playability. You have many ways to play the game, and I do feel that is a role-play experience. I think that they deserve the nomination. I'm not saying, once again, I'm not saying Lies of P deserves to win the categories, but I think that Lies of P deserves the nomination, because I saw many people saying that why is Lies of P here? There are 10 different reasons that I showed you why. Okay, guys, once again, please subscribe to the video. I'm almost hitting 25,000 views with I don't even have 100 subscribers. Please help me out. Subscribe, comment what you think about this video. You know, I really want to hear what you think. I really want to know your perspective, if you think Lies of P deserves or not deserve the nominations. I see you on the next video. Victorious!